Hey there, this is Christian here from Zurich, Switzerland. Just finished the very first Love, Relationships and You event of this year in my European and USA tour. I've got a gorgeous view here, I don't know if you can see, but it's Zurich city, and just out there in the distance are the Alps. Probably hard to see on the phone. It's a beautiful sunny spring day, and yeah, I'm in that nice kind of like post-retreat exhaustion. It was a beautiful experience. We had 31 of us here at Jupiterhaus. This is the second event I've done here with this wonderful community. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be doing a lot more. So really, really grateful for their hospitality. Also working together with Sylvie, we co-facilitated this experience, and it was just a delight. And the questions, the passion, the engagement, the topics, the themes that popped up, it was just life-changing, life-transforming and relationship-enhancing. So I was, just feel nourished and deeply touched that this work gets to continue to spread. I just wanted to share a few things that we did in the event in terms of, how it went and what were some of the topics and some of the ways in which we transmitted the work. So some of you may be familiar that I sometimes run circle events where we primarily are sitting in circle and the field is more emergent, that is more unknown, that it's more of a healing experience. The way I like to describe it, it's like going on an ayahuasca journey. You never really know what you're going to be met with, because as you take the medicine basically has the wisdom, and you get to move with that and surrender to it or resist it at your peril. And at the end of the day, you're going to get an infusion, a transmission, an upgrade through that healing process. With a retreat like Love, Relationships and You, it's different. It's more of a refined, structured transmission where we do set embodiment experiences, we have practices, we have tangible takeaway trainings that you can instantly apply into relationship and in life. So it's more of a workshop than it is a kind of like a medicine journey that has an amazing potential to kind of like meet you multidimensionally, but maybe it's more difficult to integrate that as in practical, tangible ways as tools in your life to serve your relationship. So for example, in this room, we have 3.5 days together, and we're doing practices to help embody more presence, more consciousness. We're learning how to track our inner world, how to regulate, how to track our triggers and communicate and repair and resolve conflict. We're learning how to check in from a meta position. So being able to identify with our partner on a daily basis, are we available for connection? Am I open to being opened if I am triggered? And if I'm triggered, what can I do to bring myself back into connection? And how do I set boundaries? And how do I bring my yes and my no in a way that lands? So heart-centered communication, sharing the unspoken, daring to share our truth so that we can be naked and transparent in the presence of another and still be loved, to meet the fears of rejection and abandonment, to look at some of this wounding and answering the question, what are we doing with our pain? These are all parts that we need to encounter, meet, and explore. And although we do sit in circle in this event, the circle is an opportunity to explore more emergent meeting points between people. So it could be that a couple comes onto the mat and we get to see their patterns, their relational dynamics, some of the things that have held them back that may not come through words, but it comes through their body, it comes through their energy, it comes through so clearly that the field, the group can read and sense where there is authenticity and congruency, and maybe where there's lack of congruency. And then we can offer practices to bring more harmony, more intimacy, more polarity, more juiciness, more aliveness into that space. We also did practices like, how do you share your uncontained truth? How do you, in other words, let a partner know that you have the need to let go of the supervisor, the manager, the part that needs to hold back and make it all perfect and present it in a specific way or not be too much. But how do we actually let it all go and just let ourselves be felt without having to be paused, managed, defensed against, pushed back or resisted, but we can just have the freedom to just vent sometimes. So these kind of practices to allow ourselves to be in emotional hygiene, to be in more conscious connection is super critical and super important. We also did some generational healing where we could begin to identify what are some of the things that we carry, ideas and beliefs that are not really ours. We've inherited them from our parents, our schools, our ancestors, maybe far down the line, and it's come down through a nervous system imprint. And how do we start to kind of like unblock some of that stuff and release it? We worked on polarity and how to activate more of that electromagnetic chemistry between us so that we can feel more alive. And how do we cultivate that consciously and in a really beautiful way? A lot of slowing down and feeling the body and returning home to the body and inhabiting our connection to the body as a temple, as a sacred place from which relating can really occur in an effective way. So how to get out of the head, in other words, is so critical. So this was the journey that we've been on these last 3.5 days. And I'm just looking forward to the next one, which is happening real soon. Let me think. I think my next Love, Relationships and You is going to take place in Sweden, in Stockholm. We're sold out for that event. But the next event that is open and available happens to be the one in the Netherlands at New Eden on June the 15th to the 18th. And there are live tickets still available. You're welcome to come alone as a single or with your partner. And there's even a live stream happening, so you can even watch that from the comfort of your own home and participate on Zoom and do some of the practices, or do it with your partner at home, or even get a group of people and do it all together. It could be a lot of fun. And then I will be off doing the same event, Love, Relationships and You, in the UK at the end of June. And then there's a small break, and then I'll do the exact same thing in the US. And all of these events and dates and stuff will be on my website. So you just need to go to www.heartiq.org if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that. So yeah, that's been my experience. I'm literally now going to head to the airport and head back to Amsterdam, because I've got my facilitator training, the group leadership experience that I'm leading, starting on Wednesday. So I've got a day's rest tomorrow. And then, back at it. It's really exciting though. I wouldn't wish for another life. It's such a beautiful privilege and joy to serve in this way. All right, guys, lovely to connect with you.